Good morning, church, and welcome to Monday Morning Musings for the 17th of October. My name is Dave, and I'm on the staff of Community Christian Church at Carillon. And this week, I am struck by the strange reality that so many of the things in life that benefit us most are things that we actively seek to avoid. And that conversely, so much of what we chase after does us no good and can even cause us harm. Let me explain. A long time ago, I read an article about a woman who had been born without the capacity to feel pain. Her nervous system simply didn't register pain at all. Now, that didn't mean she couldn't be injured. It just meant that she wouldn't feel the pain of any injury. She lived a life without pain. Now, in the abstract, that sounds wonderful. No pain. How many people who suffer from chronic, debilitating pain would love to be unable to feel it, even if only for a day? But the reality was that this poor woman's life was a nightmare. She was constantly harming herself without knowing it. The example that stayed with me was the time she had unwittingly placed her leg up against an electric space heater and only realized it when she noticed the smell of burning meat. Pain, as unpleasant as it is a blessing. Pain teaches. Pain reminds. Pain corrects. And yes, it must be dealt with, but we deal with it by acknowledging it, using it to help us improve our situation, and then forgetting about it. What we don't do with our pain is obsess over it and wallow in it and constantly relive it. Pain is of the moment, and we learn from it, leave it, and move on. You and I have something analogous to pain, physical pain, in our emotional and spiritual lives. We call it regret. And like pain, regret is meant to be learned from. It is corrective. Regret teaches and reminds. Regret is a blessing. Regret leads to repentance, which leads to forgiveness, which leads to a life transformed. And we should deal with regret in much the same way in which we deal with pain. We should acknowledge it, use it to help us improve our behavior going forward, and then forget about it. Except too often we don't forget about it. We settle into it. We go back over it time after time after time. We get stuck and we can't move on. Now, for regret to serve its good function, we need to be able to let it do its work and then be forgotten. But that's hard, and I'm not sure why. God can do it. For God, our regret is a tool He uses to bring about changes in our relationship with Him. And once the work is done, He puts that tool down. God doesn't keep hammering away after the house is built. And with His grace, we too can stop hammering away at ourselves, beating ourselves up with regret. God lets go of our failures and mistakes. You and I have to learn to do the same. But don't worry, God can help with that. Just ask Him. Bless you all.